An eye-opening documentary about one of the most famous pop stars in the world is shedding light on depression and suicide prevention. In Justin Bieber's Next Chapter, which the singer released on YouTube, the star opens up about his struggles with depression and even admitted that he had some suicidal thoughts.
The documentary was released during the pandemic, in which several reports indicate an increase in depression and anxiety during this time. Joining us this morning to talk about ways to get back on a healthy path is author and grief expert Dr. Susan Nicholas. And good morning, doctor. Thanks for joining us.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So, doctor, in this documentary, Justin Bieber really opens up about the pressure and criticism that came from his fans and critics. So tell us how him opening up about his struggles can actually help others.
Sure. When we see patterns of depression and suicidal ideation or substance abuse and celebrities, it's really related to this realization of a false illusion of fame. And what I mean by that is that when there is a sudden move into the spotlight, we're often confronted with both the unfamiliar, shallow idolatry of fans who don't know us at all, and our own insecurities. Now, when we experience this at a very young age, as Justin Bieber did at 16 years old, we may not have yet developed a strong enough relationship with our own selves to know who we truly are, our own value. And with that onslaught of gossip that accompanies celebrity, there's a tendency to internalize that as truth, even though the persons that are subjecting us to this type of criticism know nothing about us at all.
Well, one thing a lot of us can commend Justin on is to acknowledge what he's feeling, the emotions going on. Talk to us a little bit about how important that step is when you're dealing with something like this.
Of course, if you should reach a point of isolation or feelings or thoughts of harming yourself or others, it is vitally important to reach out for help. And that can be sharing your experiences with loved ones, with trusted friends, or professionals that can help you through the personal difficulty.
And what are some signs that people should know when someone is feeling depressed? So if you have a loved one that maybe is going through that, what are some easy ways to notice it and acknowledge it and maybe help them with it?
When we're talking about young persons, teens, young adults, they can have feelings of sadness, irritability, negative thoughts or beliefs, feeling of worthlessness. They can also have inconsistencies with attending school or feel that they're misunderstood. They may start using recreational drugs or have eating or sleeping disturbances. There are many signs of depression and sadness, but these are particular to young people, young teens and young adults.
And I do have to ask, like, for some of us on the outside looking in, what is the best way to approach this? Like, how do we know that that person is just not having a bad day or a bad week? What ways should we go about this?
Well, we all have our periods of ups and downs. There's no doubt about it, particularly in this unprecedented year. We are all experiencing grief in some way. There are more than 20 described forms of grief. They can be loss of a person, but also of our possessions. Some people have lost homes and jobs. It can be the loss of our identity. It could be the loss of our titles. It could be the loss of our familiar way of life. There are many ways and parts of grieving. But again, if you feel that you are isolating yourself, if you have thoughts of harming yourself or others, that is a sign that it's time to seek attention and help.
And doctor, for those who do want help or they want to get help for their loved ones, where can they go to get more information?
Of course, there are suicide prevention lines that are widely available across the United States. But I would also suggest that cultivating a relationship with yourself is vitally important in times like this. Know who you are and that you are enough just as you are. We need to also trust that we are not given more than we can handle, even though it may feel that way at times. And allow yourself to feel through your emotions. It's okay. We need to really grieve to completion when we are feeling lost in whatever form it may take. And I also recommend spending quality time in nature with loved ones, with friends and family, because, you know, these are your true fans, your trusted friends and family. And when it comes to social media and our young people, I say take a social media break. It is okay to nurture your followers and your fans, if you will. But recognize that these people who are our fans and that are on social media are also individuals that hold their own levels of insecurities and fears. And sometimes those are projected onto social media. So again, take time from social media and spend time in nature with yourself, with loved ones and friends.
Wow, great advice and such a timely topic to talk about. Mental health is so important.
It is.
Well, Dr. Nicholas, thank you so much for coming on and sharing that information with us.
Thank you so much. It's been a great pleasure.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Well, coming up next.